If you trace the air lines from the front under the hood, it is the main distributor that distributes different lines. If you look carefully, you find different colors, different diameters. That is what's called Pascal laws. Pascal laws mean the greater the cross section, the greater the force, because the pressure is constant. Multiply the pressure by the cross section, it will give you the force. So each one of these lines deliver different force depending on the cross section. The bigger the diameter, the bigger the force, but the pressure is constant. So if you start from the distributor, where does it get the high pressure air? I cannot go look behind it, behind the back of it. We can start from what we have. What we have here in the top, this bundle in the top that goes under to the driver cabin, all of them are thin hoses, small diameter. Those controls the brakes, the kingpin, the fifth wheel. You can follow them from here. The controls are the brown, the green, the black, and the red. Those are the controls. The thick lines, that is the red, that is the green, and those are the thickest two lines. If you follow them, they will go in this bundle, and you go under the cabin behind to the tractor. And then you have a medium-sized green and a medium-sized black. The white, that's for the transmission, the thin white. The brown is for the stabilizer, the brakes. The blue is for the air drums. The rest will do other things. You have a lot of things to do. Look here, and the front stabilizer have very small diameter, two blue lines. That means the force here is less because the weight is less, and stabilizes this side. When that wheel drops in a ditch, it pushes more pressure here from where it will bring it from one hose that comes from the chassis to dump it to inflate or deflate the airbag. On the other side, you have the same situation. That is the front. That is the steer. Here you have the same situation. The stabilizer of the steer has two small diameter blue lines. That is the stabilizer. You can see here, it is just connected to the suspension or to the axle. One side, the other side is connected to the valve, and the valve is connected to the chassis. So that stabilizes the chassis in relation to the wheel axle on the ground. And the pressure here depends on, the force. You multiply the pressure by the diameter cross section of these lines to tell you how much force it can deliver. What it does, it dampen or reduced the impact between the suspension and the spring. It reduces the impact in this side, in this gap. You also have in the back here an oil piston, and you have the spring. So that just reduces the impact when you have an acute drop. If you ever driven a Russian or Czechoslovakian tractor, you can appreciate having the dampers on the American tractors. That is a great advantage. Look at the air tanks. You discover a blot. The blot, there is a thick yellow, and there are three small diameters, different other lines. Two reds here and the blue, but the yellow is thick, which tells you most probably that is the input, and the other two are outlets. Here, this is just a T section, which means there is no control here. Or maybe there is control. Maybe I don't think there is any kind of interference here with the pressure. It comes from here, goes here. But the difference is that is a small diameter, that's big diameter, which means here is you have too much force, here is too little force. That's like an electric circuit where you control the flow of current by changing the resistance. You change the resistance by reducing the diameter of the cross section of the air line. If you look at here in the back of the top tank, the thick line here is the green, and you have a yellow and two green small diameters, the same plot, one thick inlet and the three thin outlets. Here you have one thick inlet and the three thin outlets. That is the air tank. What it does, it is like a condenser in an electric circuit. It keeps the pressure when the engine is shut off. When you go to the back, you can discover another plot. This is a distributor. If you look carefully at the distributor, it does very specific function. The four outlets of the distributor, this is the inlet. The green is the inlet that comes from the air tank. And the black, I don't know what the black does. Maybe the black is the control of the driver. And you have the four lines outlet. Those four lines are doing very specific function. If you follow each one of them, let us follow this one right here. You follow this one right here. You follow it. Let us follow the other one, because this one is going to the front. Let us follow the second one, because you can see this one. If you follow it right here, it goes where? Goes to the emergency brake. The surface brake is the front chamber of the drum. So this line controls the emergency on this side. This line, I am very sure, this line will do the same thing this side. Let us have the other two lines from the same distributor. I can see one line on this side goes exactly where goes to the emergency. And the other one have to go to the emergency. So this assembly or air distributor only controls the emergency brake. It have four outlets. Each outlet goes to each brake drum only to the rear side, the emergency brake. That's four outlets. And one supply inlet and one control, the black I think controlled by the driver. So that particular distributor only controls the emergency brakes. You have to have another one in the similar to it under in the other side that controls the surface brake. The surface brake is the front part of the drum that pushes the piston when the driver pushes the brakes. So that is this distributor. If you follow the red lines of this reservoir, you discover first one is thick, one is small. The thick means it's the inlet and the small means the outlet. Because one of them have high force and the other one have low force, but both of them have the same pressure. This is Pascal's law. If you follow them, I don't know what is this reservoir doing, but we can figure that later on. At least I know where the blue are going. The blue are doing inflating the bags. And the green, that green is the emergency brakes that releases the springs. What are the red doing? And that the brown we traced it from the front. That's the stabilizer line that comes from the front. And the small diameter black, that small diameter black, that is the ABS control anti-lock brakes. I think here in the back we covered all the hoses. Now let us look here at the surface brake. We still have to go under to find out where is the distributor for the surface brake. As you can see in the back here, you have only one stabilizer. This is the day cam.